working. Hold on. I need to check this out first. Okay, it's working. Well, in this video I want to talk about William the Silent. I was watching this video over here by Invisible Writer. And there's a YouTube channel. Let me show it on to you. This guy also uses software. Flashback Express is a freeware to record your screen. It's the page of this writer, and as you can see here, he has over 900 subscribers. And yes, he doesn't make many videos, but his videos are of good quality. Once in a while he mirrors a video. I believe it's the only one he has mirrored. But check this one out if you want yourself.
Doesn't seem like a real man to me. Again, the female-based indentation elites. But come on now. I mean, sorry, I'm a bit emotional. I mean, come on. So the king of the Netherlands in the 19th century had to be a tranny too?
By the way, I'm not saying this is 100% accurate, but it makes you think. Those trans elites, they go very far. They are obsessed indeed.
Come on. Those pagans are quite obsessed, man, with this tranny thing. Even their kings are fake.
Well, today I'm not going to talk about a king. I'm going to talk about William the Silent. You can see it here. See him here. So, okay. You can check his data on Wikipedia, or you can go to a library yourself. But I'm not going to talk that much about the date of his existence. This was him when he was younger. Let's let me make this bigger. Older Wilhelm, because he was German. Older Wilhelm, younger Wilhelm. Okay, here you can see him wearing his uniform in service of the Spanish king. This later in life, as a nobleman. Now, first I want to give a background check of the situation in the world back then. So let's go to, let me do the following. World population 1600. Okay, I'll explain why. Well, the silence didn't live until the year 1600, but the 2 decades, within the 2 decades after he died, not much changed. Well, as you can see here, the Chinese Ming Empire had the most citizens, followed by the Mughal Empire. The third was the Iberian Union, which was both the Portuguese Empire and Spanish Empire joined together. Then you had the Ottoman Empire. You can check it out for yourself, this whole list. This one is the following. When he, Wilhelm of Orange, when he revolted against Spain, Spain was, I wouldn't call Spain a world power, but Spain was the superpower back then. And besides Spain, Portugal was very wealthy also. And near the end of Wilhelm's life, Portugal became part of the Spanish Union, because remember, Spain was not a country. Spain was a union of the Crown of Castile and the Crown of Aragon. The Crown of Aragon also included Italian kingdoms. So you had a union of Spanish kingdoms led by 2 administrations. And the administration of Leon also extended itself into the Americas by founding autonomous kingdoms over here. and Spain already had trade established with the Ming Empire through the Philippines. So Spain on sea was the number one, and joined with Portugal, man, they were big. Now, even before Portugal joined Spain, Portugal was always in the shadows of the Spanish Union. Okay, and the Netherlands, or the Spanish Netherlands, was governed from Madrid through the aid of a local governor. What happened was that the King of Spain, or the King of Castile and Leon, or let me just say Spain for now, the King of Spain wanted to enforce a centralized rule. So all the Spanish kingdoms had to be governed directly from Madrid at the expense of the local autonomy. This also meant the new kingdoms that they established in the Americas. But in practice, they didn't have local viceroys, but King Philip II wanted everything recovered from Madrid directly. And that meant that all the finances of the Spanish Empire had to be regulated from Madrid. And this implied that all the Spanish territories had to hand in large sums of money. Why? Because if any region would get too wealthy, they may separate from Spain. So all the Spanish kingdoms, including the Italian states, had to pay large sums of taxes. And those Catholic nations over here, and also the new Catholic kingdoms that they established, those people didn't mind. But the Protestants in the Netherlands, first of all, they were Protestants, so they were against the rulership of the Pope. They didn't want any of that. But besides that, those Protestants were often also businessmen and merchants, and they did not want to hand over their money that they earned to the Spanish king. And add to that, the Spanish king was a fanatic Roman Catholic that wanted to suppress Protestantism at all costs. So there was quite dissatisfaction in the Netherlands against the King of Spain. So this guy, William, William of Orange, he was a prince from the not from the Orange Nassau household. He was from a German local of low nobility. From a low nobility he was, and he, though to his descent, was able to work for the King of Spain directly. And later he betrayed the King of Spain. In 1580, that same year that Portugal joined the Spanish Empire, the King of Spain declared William of Orange outlaw. And 4 years later, yes, I believe it was 4 years later, he was assassinated. But the weird thing is, is that this guy was betrayed by his own Dutch people. Well, the Dutch weren't really his people to begin with, because remember, he was from a German noble household. But the people he invested in, the Dutch people, they turned on him, despite the fact that he, as their leader, because he became the leader of the Dutch revolt against Spain, as their leader, he was quite successful. But here's the error of Wilhelm. And I'm not saying this to pick on him, okay? I'm just being practical here. And I'm teaching you this so that you can learn from it. The Netherlands was not a country. It was just a gathering of provinces. And those provinces were governed by the Roman Catholics from France and later from Spain. So there was no Dutch nation. There was no Dutch nationality. The people spoke a similar language, which we today call Dutch, but even the Dutch they spoke was diverse. So every province or county went its own way. What they had in common was that they traded with Scandinavia and with the Baltic states. For they imported grain from here, and oh yeah, the Hanse agreement. Those were cities um, around here that had trade relations with one another. So the Netherlands had an economy, but economy was centered around Scandinavia and the Baltics, and that economy was not enough to sustain as a separate Netherlands. Because as part of the Spanish Empire, they handed over taxes to Spain, and Spain managed the territory. But to become independent and to have their own country, first you need to have your own military, you need to have your own navy, and you need to have a sustainable economy over a long period of time. So William of Orange, he resisted the Spaniards, and the people were happy with him for it, but he did not look at the bigger picture. He should have realized, hold on a minute, if we do this, we'll be in trouble with the Roman Catholics. And the south of Europe is Roman Catholic. So how are we going to do that? Well, the north of Europe was for the majority Protestant. So they had better connection over there. But they couldn't deny that on sea, Spain was the master. And Portugal was in a bit of a weakened state, but Spain was still backing up Portugal. So William the Silent, he did not have a long-term idea on how to move forward after independence. And that was his error. There's nothing wrong with him resisting Spain, because Spain's policy of having those high taxes was also exploitative. First of all, Spain was bankrupt. Why were they bankrupt? Because he had so many small kingdoms over here that were also competing with one another. Why not form one unified country and then you have a centralized authority? That would work far better, but they didn't want to do that. Anyway, that they revolted against Spain because they felt that they didn't want to be part of the idolatry of worshipping the Pope. I can understand that. But come on, after separating from Spain, what will you do then? There was no plan, no sketch, no blueprint, nothing. So eventually, the people became fed up with their leader, William of Orange. Many of the people that backed him up turned on him. He I don't want to say isolated. He still had connections, but he was he was almost isolated. And this made it easy for the hitman to kill him, if not some of his own so-called former sponsors were also part of the plot. So, why I'm talking about William the Silent? It is because I want to teach you. I want to teach you to look beyond. This William the Silent, or William of Orange, however you want to call him, he founded the United Provinces of the Netherlands, which became a republic, but there was no unity, there was no common foreign policy, there was nothing that would succeed in the long term. So remember what I mentioned before in a previous video, just because you resist something that's evil doesn't mean that automatically you're doing the right thing. And look at this. After the passing away of William the Silent, within 20 years, you had warlocks, or better, you had wizards with the aid of warlocks that founded the VOC. In Dutch is Verenigde Oost-Indische Compagnie. or the Dutch East Indies Company. And that pagan organization, man, began to terrorize the seas. They began to terrorize people in Southeast Asia, in Africa, also in America. In Americas, but in America, for the Americas, um, they built other companies. The Dutch West Indies Company is one of them. So look at this from the wide perspective. This guy revolted against Spain, right? They don't want to be part of the idolatry of Roman Catholicism. They also wanted to keep the money to themselves. Okay, he passed away. Now they were separated from Spain. What now? There was a power vacuum. And in this power vacuum, the shadow government, or say the opponents, came with their economy, which later would be named capitalism, which is an economy based on guilt. So, did his revolt work out well? Some say yes, because now we have now we have the Netherlands as a result of it. But I'm looking at the fruits of his revolt during his lifetime and shortly afterwards. It did not work out well because he relied too much on the support of the people, not realizing that the people would turn on him very soon. Now, before I close this video, I just want to point out that it is possible that people can revolt against the powers and be successful. But is that success short-lived, or is it backed up by long-term prosperity? And in the case of William of Orange, there was no long-term prosperity. Those party syndicates that later emerged from the Netherlands had nothing to do with him directly. They all used his name and his legacy to justify themselves, but they were something completely different. But okay, that's what I want to share in this video. And remember, above all, agree with Christ, our true hero. He never disappoints, and learn from him. Be at peace.